Fanatics, I won a $75 gift card to an online fabric store. So let's go fabric shopping. I'm so excited to tell you that I'm still kind of a new sewer and buying fabric is still kind of scary. Does anyone else feel like that? Had to mute myself. Zip it over there. So let's talk about how do you know what kind of fabric to buy? Where do you buy it? How much does it cost? How do you order fabric? What do you even ask for? How does the whole process work? And how do we get the best deals? Let's get started. So it's hard to talk about fabric and not bring up possibly the #1 fabric retailer in the US, which is Joann Fabrics. Joann is a craft supply store that is largely focused on fabric and sewing supplies. They have lots of other great stuff too. So let's take a look. This is just their website, and as you can see, there's a lot of different ways to narrow down what type of fabric you want to shop for. They have quite a few options, and a lot of times the question comes up, what kind of fabric do I need? When I was very early in my sewing, I learned from other people. So I still learn from you guys, and I want to teach you a little bit as well. This is a dress that I'm considering sewing. This pattern was a gift from a dear friend. Thank you, Letha in Hawaii. And personally, I love all these versions. I don't know which one I'm going to do yet, but today I'm leaning towards C. So you can see the size of this pattern goes from 6 to 12. I don't know if all the pieces are there or not. This is a 1995 pattern, Butterick. But this is the information that we need. This is going to tell you what type of fabric you can use. So the first one listed here is something I don't know what it is. Fail. Let's keep this chat going. If anybody has comments or questions, let me know in the chat. We've also got the option to use crepe, back satin, lightweight taffeta, and lightweight velveteen. So those are some interesting choices. I don't see cotton listed on there, but I can tell you that cotton is probably the best choice for beginner sewists to work with. So in addition to Joann's, well, before we move on from Joann's, let me show you a couple fabrics that I've gotten from her recently. Can you guys see that this is a shiny gold on here? And the pattern is fireflies. I'm in love with this fabric, and this happened to be a clearance fabric. I had seen it in the store. This is a cotton. It's so soft. I believe it's probably considered a quilting cotton. Gorgeous. I love it. Joann, thank you so much. And I can't wait to sew something out of that. Another fabric that I got from Joann's is this one that I made one of my retro reproduction dresses out of. This was a clearance one. I think I got it for $4.99 a yard. Here's a quick question. How many feet are in a yard? Does anybody know? Anyone? I had to learn from the very beginning when I got started. So a yard is 3 feet. And when you look at pattern envelopes, they're going to have things measured out in yards. So keep that in your mind. This pattern, this fabric is beautiful. And I'm always curious, like, why can't the fabric say on the selvage here what the fabric content is? Wouldn't that make it so much easier? This is the only information this one has. And that's not really enough to even tell me, is this cotton? I'm pretty sure it's cotton. I don't know what specific kind of cotton or what weave of cotton, but what I do know from this selvage edge is that this fabric was printed with dye. And that's what these circled numbers mean. I did not know this until recently. So the color dye that they put on here first was that dark maroon color, and then it was followed by the maroon, then light pink, and then the teals came last. So when they're like printing these fabrics, each of these colors goes on in different layers. And it's amazing. I would love to go to a company that prints on fabric because that would be really cool. Now here's something else I can show you. Again, this is another fabric from Joann's. I do know this is cotton because I bought it. But when you look at the selvage on this one, it does not have any dots on it. It's actually just completely empty white. There's no information. Once again, if you could print on here cotton, that would be really wonderful, cotton and all the fabric makers out there. So what's my point with this? When it doesn't have anything on the selvage, it means that it's digitally printed. And that's done in a completely different way than when they're layering on the inks. It does not matter in any way, shape, or form. I just wanted to tell you that because it's really cool to know. What's another place that is a great place to get fabric from? If you're in the US, you may have a store called Walmart close by. And this is a fabric line by the Pioneer Woman. These were actually the fabrics that got me wanting to sew. They're so beautiful and they're so affordable. And Walmart is a great place to go to get your fabric. This is an example of what's called fat quarters. So this is a fat quarter bundle. What the heck is a fat quarter? Well, it happens to be a cut of fabric that is, so if you have a square yard of fabric, that would be 36 inches long. And typically the width of a fabric bolt is 45 inches, sometimes 60 inches or 52, but it's usually 45. So a fat quarter measures much smaller than a yard of fabric. This is, this is measuring 21 inches by 18 inches. So what I used these fat quarters for was for making napkins and bandanas. And I also used them to make scrunchies. They're great for little projects. But if you're sewing garments, you're going to be working by yards. So this is 108 inches long and it's 45 inches wide. And this is 3 yards of fabric. Sometimes that's enough for a project. Sometimes it's not. It really depends on what your garment is going to be and what size you are. So let's get back to this pattern envelope because here is the key. If I were to sew this dress, which is view C, I already know what types of fabric would be suitable for it. Although I don't know what file is. File? I don't know. But what I do know, if I were to sew a size 12, for this dress C, I would need 1 7/8 yards of fabric in order to do the dress. If it was 45. If it was 60, I would need less. I would only need 1 1/4 yards. And it also says how much lining fabric you would need. So this is great information. And now we're going to do some real shopping. I won a $75 gift certificate to a really high scale textile and fabric store, and it's called Elliott Berman Textiles. Oh, and this is nice. When you open the website, there's an offer to join the mailing list and get 10% off your first order. And it looks like $150 and more qualifies for free shipping in the US. So, oh my gosh, what are our choices here? Let's take a look. So getting back to like, what do you pick first, the pattern or the fabric? That can go either way. In this instance, I'm kind of thinking that this dress, I've never done princess seams before, but this dress is based on a dress that my mom is wearing in a family photo from, oh, I don't know, 40 years ago. And I want to sew a similar dress to the one she's wearing. Now, I don't know the fabric that her dress was made of. So I don't know if I'll be able to match it because this needs to be one of these fabrics. What I can tell you is when I was, let's see here, 1995, when I was 15 years old, I wore a dress a little similar to this that was actually in stretch velveteen fabric. And I loved that dress, and it would be so cool to make something similar. So let's look at the choices of fabrics that they have at Elliott Berman Textiles. We've got silk and silk blends, jersey knits, cotton, viscose, linen, activewear, jacquard, wool, polyester, designer fabrics, lace fabrics. And we're going to skip the art gallery. What do you guys think? Would any of these fabrics be interesting to you to browse with me? Let's go window shopping. How about we start with, well, why not tried and true cotton? Let me know in the chat if there's anything in here that you like. Do you like the looks of these guys? I'm going to sort by my usual, which is price low to high. Let's get an idea of what these prices are like. It looks like here's a digital print broadcloth from Italy, and this is $24 per yard. That's quite a bit more than like the $4.99 per yard I paid for this. But I've got a gift certificate, so potentially I could get 3 yards of this, which I don't think I would do. What ones do you like on here? So far, ooh, this is a cotton corduroy. Ooh, a cotton poplin. A lot of these fabrics are imported, so there's France, Italy, and then some of these designer ones, like this is Calvin Klein, this one up here is J. Crew. I know that this dress, because it has princess seams, is not suitable for diagonal stripes, and I probably would want to avoid stripes in general. Whoa, what's this? What is this? Find a cat print cotton denim. Can you see the cats? I can. Oh my gosh, they're really cute. Okay, this is 28 per yard. And you can, it looks like, order swatch samples from these if you want. It looks like they would only charge shipping for a swatch sample. That's good to know because I might, like, I don't really know what these fabrics are. What is a cotton file? Cotton denim, I'm pretty sure I know what that is, right? That would make like a heck of a pair of jeans or shorts. Shorty shorts are a big thing this year. People are really into that look. So that's one. This one's really beautiful. Ooh, here's a stretch cotton sateen. Now, another thing I didn't mention is the importance of stretch or no stretch in your fabric. So let me give you another example of a pattern that I have. This one is for a stretch wrap top, and this calls for, let's see the fabric, moderate stretch knits only. So this is totally different. A knit is different than a woven, and knits are fabrics that are going to have stretch. So this says cotton interlock jersey or matte jersey. And now here's the ticket for choosing your stretch knit fabric. this says that the stretch crosswise, 4 inches of folded knit needs to stretch from, let's back that out of the way, here when it's not stretched, out to here when it is stretched. Otherwise, you're going to have a problem. It's going to be too big or too small, depending on how much your fabric stretches or doesn't stretch. So keep that in mind. If you pick out a pattern that needs a stretched fabric, you're not going to be able to use a cotton broadcloth, for example. Here's an example of a stretch fabric. And again, this is a fabric that I got secondhand, so I don't know what kind of fabric this is. I could do a fabric burn test, but besides that, I've got no clue. Now, for stretch fabrics, you're going to have one way that stretches further and one way that stretches less. And you're going to always want to be using the one that stretches further to be like going around your body. So think about it. If this is your waist, you want your clothing to be able to like stretch around your waist, around your bust. You don't want it to be stretching up and down your body. So when you're cutting stretch fabrics, and even when you're cutting woven fabrics, that's always important to know where your grain line is and where your selvage edge is as well. This is cute. This is 97% cotton, 3% lycra. And I'm not sure like how much stretch that would give. I don't know that this would necessarily work for this pattern. I don't know if crepe or crepe back satin are stretchy. Crepe back satin. Let's look that up. Crepe back satin. What does that mean? It has a smooth, shiny front and a ribbed, matte back. Now, the question is, does it have stretch? Does it stretch? Limited stretch, depending on the material used. And this is interesting. Natural fibers like silk have less stretch compared to synthetics. I don't know if that's true for all fabrics or if that's just for crepe back satin. Getting a little off track here. Let's keep window shopping. Does anyone have any questions? Hi, my so-called life. How are you? Does anyone have any questions or comments about fabric shopping? Or, like I said, are you seeing anything at Elliott Berman Textiles that's really catching your eye? I did have someone here to help me with the chat, but it looks like he's dozed off a little bit. Let me see if anybody else has chatted here. Okay. All right. So let's get back to window shopping. This is another stretch cotton twill. So a lot of these cottons that they have at this store, oh my gosh, this is kind of gorgeous. Black and white number. This is a floral silhouette print textured cotton. I love things with texture. These photographs, I think, are a lot better than the ones on Joanne's website. They really do a good job, I think, of showing the textures. Oh, ooh, look at this. That's kind of shiny. It almost looks like reptile scales in addition to the, ooh. Okay, this could be a contender. This one's $25 per yard, so that would be enough to sew that dress. Oh my gosh, let's keep going. Should we switch off of cotton? Should we look at something fancier? Let's do it. But wait a sec. What else do we have? Oh my gosh, look at this. This is a floral print cotton seersucker from Italy. Oh my goodness. That's so pretty. I love the contrast of the yellow and the purple. I don't know about seersucker. It would not work for this dress. But that's another winner right there. That is pretty, pretty, pretty. This is kind of cool. It's another stretch textured cotton. Okay, let me get out of the cottons and just for kicks, let's go to, where should we go? What do you guys want to see? How about new arrivals? That'll give us a mix of different fabrics to check out. This is really pretty, the sunflower print cotton. That is file, F-A-I-L-L-E. Is that what we were looking for? Oh, look at F-A-I-L-L-E. Does anyone know how to pronounce that word? Because I would like to know. Wait, it says file or crepe back satin, lightweight taffeta, and lightweight velveteen. So it seems like file. I'm going to look that up because I need to know. F-A-I-L-L-E fabric. What does that mean? That means, oh, it says it was primarily made with silk. Variations with cotton and wool were also used. Silk file. I guess we need to look up cotton file. Oh, it says it's a type of cloth with flat ribs, often made in silk. It has a softer texture than grosgrain with heavier and wider cords or ribs. Interesting. Oh, this is a good idea though. What if I look at cotton file dress? And that's going to show me an idea of like what types of dresses they make, like what kind of silhouettes are made from this cotton file. I really hope I'm saying that right. I don't know if I am. Well, we're getting some really expensive options here. I wonder if file is an expensive fabric. Oh, I bet I know. I bet these are silk file and not cotton file. Hey Ralph, you're awake. Could you please do me a favor?
Sure.
Could you look up something? Could you look up how to pronounce a word? We're going to get some information, guys. Let's go back to the fabrics while we're working on that.
Sure.
Could you find out how to pronounce F-A-I-L-L-E? I think it's file. How do you think they pronounce it? Ooh. File? Did I have it right?
Fail.
Fail.
No.
No, not fail.
Switched words. Here it is.
Okay.
File.
Okay, guys, it's called cotton file. But wait, let me show you this, because now we're getting into the viscose. Did we say that was something we could use? I don't think it was. File, crepe back satin, taffeta, and lightweight velveteen. All right, so crepe is... No, wait, crepe is on there. This is crepe viscose. That should work, right? So the viscose is like the material that it's made from, which is synthetic. And then I guess the crepe is talking about what type of weave the fabric is. Oh my gosh, look at these, are beautiful. This is one of my favorite colors, the teal. You probably all know that if you've been watching any of my videos. And then look at these. This is a wool crepe. Oof. It's getting pricey when we're in the natural fibers. So that's $45 per yard from Italy. Oh, it's beautiful. Look at that. Oh, and they even show an example of what it would look like made into a dress. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. All right, so we've got some file. Is that what they said it was?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I've been saying it right. I know so much about sewing. You guys definitely need to trust me on everything that I guide you on. Just kidding. We're learning together. Here's some Lycra suiting, some garbadine. I really want to try to find, oh my gosh, look at this. Oh my gosh, this is stunning. Look at this. Oh my gosh. This is stretch silk charmeuse from Italy. Oh my goodness. Umberto Ungaro. No, Emmanuel Ungaro. Oh, that's gorgeous. I can't, it looks to me like that would be textured, even though when I usually think of silk, I feel like it's a little bit more like shiny and smooth than what I'm seeing, I think, in this pattern. But again, I don't know. Here's a silk crate, that's $70 per yard. Let's keep going through. Okay. What do you think I should get for this dress? It's really hard to pick out fabric. It's really hard. And I totally get why people can spend hours in Joann's or hours in a fabric store or hours looking at findings or hours looking at trims, because it's just, that's a lot of the fun of sewing, and that's a lot of the fun of creating. Looking at a pattern, matching it with the fabric, finding a fabric and saying, oh, I need that, I love it, what can I make from it? It's all a really fun journey. And so I'm very excited to share it with you. I'm very grateful to Elliott Berman Textiles, who gave me that $75 gift card because I won a contest on patternreview.com. This video is not sponsored, but I'm really excited to get some new fabric and sew something else and share it with you all too. And maybe it'll win me more gift certificates to more fabric stores, because I'm very much of the belief that you can never have too much fabric. Thank you so much for watching. Happy sewing, happy creating, and I'll see you again soon on Adventures with Disabilities.